Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our webinar today. We're going to talk about Social Security claiming. We're going to talk a little bit about how you can use that expertise to grow your business, and we're going to talk about a couple of ways to actually promote your expertise in your area. So it should be a good webinar today. Our guest speaker is Dave Pimper. Dave is the president of Lazarus Coaching, a top producer in his own right on both securities and in the insurance side. There's a lot of indexed annuities, obviously. And Social Security has been, he would say, one of the major focuses of his business over the last 7 or 8 years, and just has helped his business tremendously. So should be a good webinar today. We're going to have some little bit of commercial activity before we start. We're going to talk about some of the things we do here at IAMS to help you grow your business. If you have any questions or anything, give us just type it in, hit send, and we'll get it asked and answered as quickly as we can. There'll be a couple polls that will pop up. If we can help you, certainly just what I would ask is, the quicker we can, if you have interest, whatever. Oops, gotta share my screen here. There we go. If you have interest in it, please, by all means, let me know, and we'll get you up to speed on whatever the poll is on. So, new producer builders, you guys and gals can all see out there the various levels and what you can take advantage of at each level. If there's something that you're already doing from a production building standpoint that you'd rather substitute in, by all means, let us know that. The whole goal here is to give you the best opportunity to grow your business at kind of a little bit of a hyped up level during your first 180 days of being appointed here with IAM. So we're glad to contribute to any one of these things, or we can contribute to something that you think might work better or you're already doing that can help grow your business. So all I'm saying there is just let us know what we can do to help, or contract and take advantage of any one of those levels as well. IAMS production builders that you want to be aware of as well, the RPM program, referred producers. If you have a colleague in the business you think might benefit from our services, please, or our incentives or products or training, by all means, give our name to them or give us their name. We'll call them. If they get appointed, we'll send you out a check for $50 just for an appreciation. Thank you. If they start doing business, you're going to get an ongoing check, kind of a bonus based on their business, which is ongoing forever. So a great little program, and you can see that can add up to some pretty good numbers. Also, marketing reimbursement is another program that we have here that we send out a lot of checks on. If you've got business that you do, money goes in your marketing and reimbursement account, then we match your spend on marketing dollar for dollar. You ask your sales director if you want to know where you're at in terms of marketing reimbursement. We have great back office support here, some of the best in the industry. I think probably the best in the industry. We've committed a lot of time and effort and money to making sure that when you call, you get a live answer, and that live answer is a way that you can get the information you need right away. We track your business proactively when it comes in the door from submission to commission. We'll watch it all the way through. So you're going to be really happy with the service that you get from the team here at IAMS. We always hear that over and over again. It's just a cut above what other folks are doing. We're big believers in keeping you doing what you do best, and we doing what we can help you at with a good team of people here. So hopefully you'll take advantage of that. One of the things that we did, and we got lucky here, we put Firelight, which is the e-app system that most carriers use in the annuity space, most insurance carriers use in the annuity space. And so we put that as a single sign-on on our system. All that means is you, instead of going to various company websites in order to submit an e-app for them, you can just do it through our system. So you come to our website, you're registered, you just go in, pick the carrier, pick the product, and up pops the e-app, and you go from there. So there are a lot of advantages to that. Number one, you don't have to surf around to 20 different websites, remember 20 different passwords. Number two, if you're doing two apps on the same client with various carriers, you can do a kind of a cut and paste there. Obviously, you have to have signatures or go through the signing process on both of them, but you don't have to input the information more than once. Even if you wrote a client 2 or 3 years ago and you want to pull that back up and write it with another carrier, that information stays in the system for a period of time. So great time saver, more efficient. If you're not doing e-apps at all, I'm going to recommend that highly. We've got a little thing going right now where every time you do an e-app through the first part of the summer here, we're going to put your name into a drawing, and every Monday morning we're doing a drawing for $200. And so right now that e-app we might have on a given Monday morning might have 30 or 40 potential winners of that $200 prize. So real good chance of winning, and we're doing it every Monday morning. So write your business via e-app, call your sales director, have them get you registered. It takes about 3 minutes on our website to get you registered, and then you'll learn the process of doing an e-app. And believe me, you'll find it's going to be more professional. You're not going to having the right paperwork every time is key. Not missing anything on that paperwork is really helpful for you. Did a, a little survey with Amber, and she figures that when you do an e-app, if everything else being equal, you're saving about a week of time just with the quick processing time that you get with an e-app. But she says in reality, not quite half, a little bit less than half of the apps that come in other than e-app are not in good order. So then there's a delay trying to get that. So she said, in reality, you're probably saving 2 to 3 weeks on processing when you do an e-app as opposed to not doing an e-app. So think about that next time you're wondering whether that's a good use of your time. And if we can help you with that process, we're bound and determined to find a way to be valuable to you. And I think helping you with the e-app process is one way that we can do that. Think of our creative team as an advertising team for you. They're folks that they're like an advertising firm for folks that do business in our marketplace. So they're very specialized. They work just with our producers. They're doing everything that they can pro bono or everything else at cost. And most of the marketing stuff gets paid for with marketing reimbursement. So it's a great way to use those dollars, and a great team over there. I had the greatest call with one of our regular producers that basically said, hey, the work that they did for a very specific need that he said it was quick, better than we had expected, and he's got high standards, and it was quick and better than he expected, and it made a difference in his business. It's got him in front of 40 or 50 people that he said he wouldn't have been in front of this month with some marketing that they did on their website. So really, really good stuff. They've got a great team over there. They know what you need. They may know more about what you need, or just given their experience with other of our producers, may have some ideas that can help you grow your business. So I would recommend that you ask your sales director about what the IAMS creative team can do to help grow the business. Turn that ringer down. IAMS website, everything that you can think of that you might need from a business standpoint is out there. Again, I recommend you call your sales director, spend a couple minutes with them, and say, hey, show me your website, what's on there, this is my business, what's out there that I might be able to take advantage of. If they don't point you to the sales resource library that we have out there, I hope you'll call me, because there's not a guy or gal in our business that can't use what we've got out there, that sales resource library, plus everything else. So David Corwin and Marcus Soller handle internally our Retirement Analyzer software package. If you're not familiar with Retirement Analyzer, I would encourage you to maybe have them send you a free login. You can look at it and for 30 days, see how it feels. Maybe run one on yourself or run one on a client and see if you think it might be beneficial to your business. Because for our guys that are doing business with us, we pay for that. And even if you're not doing business with us yet and you want to try it out, we get to where we're doing business and we're going to pay for it for you. That saves you $75, $80 a month. And more importantly, it gives you access to what I think is the best combination of input and output information that you can get with these retirement analysis type products. So basically, you can see some of the questions you can answer for your client with this Retirement Analyzer software, and it's something that you want to do just on your A's and B's, maybe your C's, and it'll help them understand better where they're at. It'll make your relationship with them. It'll change your relationship with them. You won't be somebody that just helps them with investments and annuities. You'll be the person that helps them making sure that they're getting where they want to get to on their retirement journey, which opens up a lot more sales opportunities and really puts you in place as their primary advisor. So, and that, like I said, we're making that available to you at our expense. So hopefully you'll take advantage of that if you haven't already. Many people these days are looking at, now again with the DOL, do they need to have wealth management as part of their business? And the short answer is, given the trend of legislation, I would say the short answer to that is yes. Now, could you refer that need in your business to someone else? We have many producers that do. And could you also refer it to IAMS Wealth directly? And in many states, can they pay you a small fee for that? Yes, you could do that as well. But the best option to consider is to have the ability to offer managed assets directly yourself. And I don't know right now, and certainly I'm biased, obviously, but having spoken with a lot of the guys that use IAMS Wealth and their experience there, I don't know that there's a better opportunity for somebody that primarily comes from an insurance background to move into the wealth management business than there is right now with IAMS Wealth. So consider that if you're looking, obviously handling other than just their insurance products is going to make your client relationship more sticky. It's going to make it more profitable for you. It's probably going to make you more referable to your clients. So there's those three things. But in protection of yourself, from a regulatory standpoint, I think it's valuable, and I think you'll be happy with the results of how you now appear to your clients when you can do more than just work with them on their life insurance and annuities and long-term care. Now, those are all very valuable and probably, in my opinion, more valuable than the asset management part, but the asset management part definitely adds a piece that changes the way that they look at your relationship with them. So if you want to talk to the folks over at IAMS Wealth Management, so here's the reason you want to talk to them. Number one, if you're thinking about getting your Series 65 and you need some help through that process, we've helped all of our insurance guys do that. So they can help you with the testing, they can help you get prepared, they can help you with the process and get you your materials to study. If you're already an IAR and you're looking for some place where you're more getting better fee arrangement or getting higher payouts, I hear that constantly. And one thing about our payouts are 1% or actually a little bit over 1%. But we don't run that through a grid. So you're receiving all that. You're not getting 90, 80, 70, or 60% of that. You're getting that whole 1%. Most folks don't understand that about IAMS Wealth. It's just not immediately discernible from our advertising. So keep that in mind. And, it's just a great way to add and grow to your business. So if that's something that's of interest to you, put yes on that poll, and Mike or Charles or Sarah will give you a call and they'll walk you through what they do. It'll probably take 10 or 15 minutes or longer if you want it to. If there may be some things that you say, hey, that's not going to work for me, that's fine. But if it can work for you, it's probably a good way to spend good 10 or 15 minutes. They're very easy folks to deal with over there, and they're going to be real open to any questions that you have. And it gives you a way, like I said, to increase your revenue, keep your clients more sticky, and have that relationship change in the way that a lot of your clients look at you. I'm going to close that poll out. We had about a third of you that did not vote, which is fine. Don't be afraid on these polls, by the way, to put a no. I don't mind no's at all. We just want to know how we can help you. That's the main goal here. So I'm going to close that poll out. If for whatever reason you weren't able to vote, just call me at the office, 800-255-5055. Ask for Steve. I'll be glad to put you in touch with that group if you like. Okay, I want to make sure that you're all aware of our Top Producer Summit. Qualification it really just started. It started on 12/1, but we have an 18-month qualification. So you've got plenty of time to qualify to take you and your guest on a cruise that starts in Rome, runs down the Italian coast, comes back up via Greece and Croatia, and then ends up back in Venice, Italy. It's going to be you'll be out about 7 to 8 days. See some great, and everybody is going to have a balcony. Everybody's going to be on the concierge level. Everybody's going to get treated first class, and you have all the food and drink handy and all the beautiful scenery and history that you'd ever want to see. So we'd love to have you join. It takes $4.5 million, which is 1-to-1 for annuity, about 11-to-1 for life insurance target premium. And about 1.5 for single premium life, and then everything that you do with IAMS counts towards that. We'd love to have you and your guest join us on that trip. What we're hearing right now is that the cruise business is picking up at a high rate. We may have to limit the total number of qualifiers we can have there just because boats are only so big, but we will keep everybody involved there. But the sooner you qualify, the better is what I would say about that. We'd love to have you and your guests join us. Like us, follow us. We'd love to have you see what we're doing on Facebook and LinkedIn. We've got some stuff available there that you can't get anywhere else. So go to LinkedIn, have a peek at us. If you need some help with that, give me a call. I'd love to help you. I don't see any questions out there. I want to talk for a second. I mentioned Dave Pimper at the outset. We talked about him just a little bit, but I want to give you a little bit more background on Dave. Dave, of course, been in the business since early 80s, longer than I joined. I got in the business in 84. I think Dave is probably an 81, 82 guy. Been in the business for a long time, both securities and insurance, and is a marketer extraordinaire. He probably above anyone else that I know values the opportunity of being in front of clients at as high a rate as possible than anybody else. A lot of people like to talk about it. A lot of people spend a little bit of money on it, a little bit of time, but Dave spends, he sees that as key to his business. And if you look at his results, you would say that's definitely the key to his business and key to a great business. So been in radio for probably 30 plus years. He has done 512, 20, 15 seminars, more seminars than anybody else that I know of in the business since the early 80s. So a real good marketing guy. But beyond that, great salesperson. So he respects what we do, what you guys do every day at the retail level, and really wants to help. So that's been a great combination for us. So we really love to have Dave joining us and talk about sales ideas and ways to grow your business. So today we're going to talk about Social Security claiming with the person who's really kind of become the master of Social Security claiming, the coach of Lazarus, president of Lazarus Coaching, Dave Pimper.
Hey, thank you very much, Steve, and I appreciate everybody being on the webinar with us today. What I've learned in the last 40 years, which is how long I've been in the financial service arena, is that Social Security is a subject that is pretty hazy for most people, and most producers, for that matter of fact. So what we're going to do today is kind of show you of why I think that if you learn Social Security, and you may already know it, but only about 1 in every 10 or 15 advisors, agents really understand Social Security claiming. So what we're going to do is, if you have any questions whatsoever, certainly type them in. We'll be more than happy to help you answer those. But we're going to go in and take a little quiz here in a second. But before I do that, this slide has got great information, and this is right from Sarah O'Brien. She was the reporter on this with CNBC. It says most retirees get little advisor help on Social Security. And then it says a majority of older Americans get no professional advice about a key part of retirement planning, Social Security, even if they work with a financial planner. A recent study concluded, don't let that happen to you. I mean, you should be the guy or the gal that has that expertise with Social Security claiming. And I'll tell you right now, it can make a big difference in the amount of business that you do. So here's the quiz. I want you to take this quiz with me. I will tell you right now, it is, I got to go back here. Yeah, what happens on this quiz is that only 1 in 5 seniors could answer, or only 1 in 300 seniors could answer this. 1 in 300 seniors could answer all 5 of those questions correctly. And I took them word for word. I wrote in there, how about you, the financial advisor, the agent, because many of you guys and gals can't either. Okay? So let's go in and let's take this quiz. First question. To maximize your monthly Social Security benefit, at what age must you claim the benefits? To maximize your monthly Social Security checks, which is actually just direct deposited now, but at what age must you claim your benefit? What age to maximize? Here we go. Well, if you guess full retirement age, you're wrong. It's age 70. That's when you maximize it. Question 2, what's the earliest age you can receive survivor's benefits if you're not disabled? What's the earliest you can receive survivor's benefits if you're not disabled? Age 60. All right. Third question. Does your spouse need to receive benefits for you to qualify for spousal benefits? Read that again. Does your spouse need to receive benefits for you to qualify for spousal benefits? Yes or no? Correct answer? Yep, they do. 4, can divorced spouses receive spousal benefits? Can divorced spouses receive spousal benefits? Yes or no? They can. If 4 stipulations are met, and to get this question right, you got to name 2 of the 4 stipulations. So here's what they are. You ready? First of all, you had to be married at least 10 years. 10 years or longer. Second of all, you're currently unmarried. Not the ex, but you claiming it. Third of all, the ex has to be at least 62, and lastly, the divorce had to be at least 2 years or older. If you got 2 of those 4 right, I'm giving you credit on that whole question. Those are the 4 stipulations. And lastly, are you eligible for survivor's benefits if you're divorced? Are you eligible for survivor's benefits if you're divorced? Yes or no? Yep, you are. If those 4 stipulations are met, the same one because it's divorced. Yep. So if you just get 2 of the 4 right, do you remember them? Marriage lasted 10 years or longer, currently unmarried, ex is at least 62 or older, and your divorce has been 2 years or longer. Yeah, how'd you do there? If you got 1 or 2 or 3 right, you probably need some coaching. Yeah, yeah. And those are pretty easy questions, actually. One of them is a little tricky, the one about waiting to age 70 for the biggest benefit. Okay? So that kind of gives you an idea of where your kind of educational level is when it comes to Social Security claiming. This is by Janet Herron from USA Today, word for word from the excerpt. Doing this one thing with your Social Security could mean losing $100,000 in retirement, $100,000 in retirement. Bullet point 1: how much does claiming Social Security at the wrong time cost you? Bullet point 2: retirees will lose an average of $111,000 in income per household over their lifetime. Why? Because they took Social Security benefits at the wrong time. Isn't that something? And number 3, overall, only 4% of retirees took Social Security at the financially optimal age. You don't think that we play a vital role in helping people get the most money they can to maximize their Social Security benefit? 96% of the people took it at the wrong age. 96%. Incredible. Now, when you look at Social Security, remember it's a government program and it's a bureaucratic program. It's it's probably, it's close to $3 trillion in the trust fund. Yeah, 2.9 trillion, largest type of fund in existence in the world. And you hear all the time about information that Social Security is going bankrupt. Well, let me first say this. It started in 1935. So Franklin Delano Roosevelt from the Social Security Act, really part of the New Deal. So many, especially widowed women, 70% of all widowed women, they go to the poorhouse. You don't hear that now, to the poorhouse, do you? You know why? Because with Social Security, 96% of all Americans have a benefit when they retire or in retirement years from Social Security. Only 4% don't. So it started in 35 by FDR. 1940 was the first check to Ida Mae Fuller. Age 65 was the only age you could take Social Security. Only age. Okay? Not now. Now you can take early, you can take later. 62 up to 70. 8-year spread. But average age of longevity in 1935 was age 62. What a heck of a deal. Average age of longevity was 62. So you die at 62, and you would have got your check at 65, the earliest you could get it. Great odds for the government. Not now, but then. In 61, under JFK, President Kennedy, you could take your benefit early, and shortly after that, you could delay it and take it later. Okay? Cost of living adjustments this year 1.3%, pretty low. Last year 1.6. 3 years ago 2.8. 4 years ago 2%. If you go way back to 1975 when it started, there's only been about 3 years. There's only been 3 years where there hasn't been a benefit increase. 2010, 2011, and 2016. Was never taxed until Ronald Reagan in 1983. The trust fund went down to nothing. When the $1 trillion, basically the $1 trillion comes in this year for Social Security to be paid back out, what does the government invest that money in? The extra money? Government bonds. They're called special issue government bonds. There's no MVA, no market value adjustment, no interest rate sensitivity. The average bond portfolio right now, it's paying around 3%. It's pretty darn good for a government guarantee in today's day and rate. And what happens is that trust fund went down to nothing in '83. That's why taxation started. But remember, when you hear about the Social Security going bankrupt, they're talking about the trust fund going bankrupt, not Social Security per se. Because Social Security per se is a pay-as-you-go system. How much does it pay? 6.2%. That's what you pay, 6.2%. What does your employer pay? 6.2%. That 12.4%, I will tell you right now, that buys government bonds in the trust fund where there's about 2.9 trillion right now. 2.9 trillion. But for the first year, probably last year during the pandemic, the trust fund's going to run a deficit. Didn't the year before, but it probably will last year. And now it will run a deficit probably here on out until we make some changes. But if you're making a $2,000 benefit and the trust fund goes bankrupt, some people think you wouldn't get any money. It'd be bankrupt. No money comes in. Wrong. You get about 79% of that benefit would come in. 21% would be lost because it's a pay-as-you-go system. Payroll tax is 6.2. Employer 6.2. That all goes to fund everyone's Social Security. Taxation wasn't in existence until '83, and then up to 50% of your benefit could be taxed. That was it was put into action by Ronald Reagan, and then Bill Clinton thought that was good. You might as well raise it to 85, so up to 85% if you make over certain brackets in '93. There's not major changes every year. The last major change of Social Security was in the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015, so that's been 6 years ago, quite a while ago. They phased out file and suspend coordinating spousal benefit, and over 6 months, and they did the same thing with restricted application over 8 years. So if you're born before January 2nd in 1954, and you're the person asking for the restricted benefit, yeah, you can go in and still do it. Born before January 2nd of 1954. How important is Social Security? Darn important. Nearly 60% of all retirees count their Social Security benefit to be their major source of income over 401ks, over pensions, over individual accounts. Social Security one, you take earlier than full retirement age. Good news is you get it now. Bad news is it's reduced for life. Take it after full retirement age. The bad news is you don't get any money now. The good news is it's increased when you start it for life. Can it have a huge value? Darn right. But you know what? It's not claiming at the right time or claiming at a right time. It's claiming at your right time. At the end of 2018, which was the most current, they're always a couple of years behind. But the Social Security Trust Fund was positive $3 billion. But that's basically $1 trillion worth of revenue. Yeah, so certainly was pretty thin. How can we increase it? It's either going to be increase in age or increase in taxation or both. That's what's going to happen. Increase in age or increase of taxation or both. It's a pay-as-you-go system. It's not a Ponzi scheme. Absolutely not. You need 40 quarters of coverage, or 40 quarters, 40 credits. Each quarter, if you make $1,470, that $1,470 will go on in and pay for 1 quarter. You can earn up to 4 quarters. So if you make $5,880, you just got 4 quarters. The more you make, the bigger your benefit is. It's skewed for the lower income earner. More of their money they get back than the higher income earner. If you make this year over $143,800, that's the max. That's the cap. You make over that, you don't put into Social Security. Okay, that's the cap. They figure out your highest 35 inflation adjusted earning years. Remember COLA. Everyone gets a COLA if there's one available. Only 3 years instead of 75 there hasn't been. And then it's when you start. If you start earlier, it's reduced. If you start later, it's increased. That's how you figure it out. If you're born from 43 to 54, 1943 to 1954, your full retirement age is 66. I was born in 55, 66 years and 2 months. Stair steps up 2 months to 1960 or later. Your full retirement age is 67. A newborn today is full retirement age is 67. Don't you love that dog? My favorite picture. And that guy's got a bone tie on. That's pretty weak joke, but yeah. If you got any questions, type them in. We'll be more than happy to answer them here. We got about 15 more minutes on this workshop, so hopefully you're learning something. At full retirement age, you get the full benefit. You take it before that, it's discounted. You take it after that, it's increased. That's the simplicity of Social Security claiming. If you know that, you know more than the average person. Now, you can't answer the questions, and that's where coaching comes into being. I'm a big believer in coaching people up one-on-one, giving them good attachments. And there's a great book to read. I call it the Bible of all Social Security books. But I'll tell you right now, there's 3 ways that we, being Dave Pimper and I am the FMO, we can teach you up, coach you up, learn you up, as they'd say in the backwoods of Nebraska, with Social Security claiming. One is, and it's starting to get hot now, and that is Social Security seminars. We've added quite a few folks here just in the last week. States are opening up. We're doing ours in 2 weeks. We've done down in Kansas, in Texas, and in South Carolina, in Florida. So things are opening on up. One up in the Northeast, up in Connecticut. Used all of our PowerPoint and so forth, and maxed it out. They got 60 people there in that. It was actually an outdoor environment with heaters under a tent. So pretty exciting. Things are opening up. But with that $2,500 for a Social Security seminar, we're hoping to get 25 people there. If you get 25 people, get about 18, 19 buying units. We'd like to get 10 appointments or more. I coach you up on Social Security with that 25. I am stipends me to coach you. Also, Retirement Boss Radio. Just had a guy fly in from Los Angeles and looking at our operation. The reason he didn't do it with his FMO was a big FMO, well known, but they don't have a turnkey radio program. Ours is called Retirement Boss Radio. Take charge of your money. But we also got another call with a big city down in the southeast yesterday, and looking at going on board. We've had some really good success. I'm trying to get 2 to 3 appointments each weekend. Last weekend we got 2 set appointments by the call center. They set the appointments for you on a recorded show, and you'd be surprised. Cost on that lots of times is no more than depending on how big. LA is going to be a little bit different because it's such a huge city. But $3,000 to $4,000 all in, all the costs, production, call center, my coaching, etc. But on both seminars and Retirement Boss Radio, we coach you up with Social Security on that at no cost to you, and then we can just a la carte it. You don't want marketing, which I think is a mistake because you got to get in front of people to sell. But for $800, I coach you up on 4 sessions and really get you up to speed on Social Security claiming. But if you apply before full retirement age, it's going to be discounted anywhere from 20 to 30%. It would be discounted. Okay. If you wait longer than full retirement age, basically you're going up 8% guaranteed a year, called a delayed retirement credit. So I'm a believer. If you know the individual benefit, spousal benefit, divorced spouse, survivor, and restricted application, if you know those 4 benefits or 5 benefits, you can answer about 80-85% of all questions that come across. So here we go. We talked about the individual benefit. Now let's talk about the spousal benefit. First of all, you have to claim the individual benefit. Nothing happens without you claiming the individual benefit. Once you claim the individual benefit, then what happens is if both of you claim, the spousal benefit is done automatically for you. They have that. Big Brother's got that, okay? So here's how it works. Dave's PIA, primary insurance amount, the amount Dave has at full retirement age is $2,400. Amy's PIA, primary insurance amount, the amount she gets at full retirement age is $1,000. Say they're both 66 to keep it simple. Dave takes his, he gets $2,400. Amy takes hers, she gets $1,000. Or another option would be for her to take half a Dave's. Well, what's higher? Half a Dave's are all as Amy's. Half a Dave's, $200 higher. Half of 24 is 12. So in the eyes of Social Security, there's two parts of this. You get your own personal benefit, individual benefit of $1,000. You get a spousal benefit off of your spouse of $200. It's a top up of $200, $1,200 total. Now, what happens if Dave doesn't want to take his right now at 66? He wants to wait to 70 or 69 or 68, but not taking it at 66. Amy takes her $1,000. Dave lets his grow. How much can Dave take? Or how much can Amy take? $1,000. Remember that was one of the questions on the quiz. She can't take $1,200 unless Dave is taking his. 2,700 rules when it comes to Social Security claiming. Divorce benefit has to be asked for. If you don't ask, you don't receive. It's biblical. Tons of divorce and widow benefits. People don't get them. Remember those four stipulations that have to be met? Married 10 years or longer, currently unmarried, X62, and 2 years or longer that the divorce was. If all those moons and stars line up in a straight line, yep, you can qualify in your ex-spouse can act just as if you're still married to them in the eyes of Social Security. Why is that important? Because married couples have many more benefits available to them many times than single individuals. Survivor benefit has to be asked for. It doesn't happen automatically. They don't know when everybody dies. And they don't know whether you want to jump up to that benefit. But Dave's benefit's $2,000, Amy's benefit's $1,200. Dave dies. Guy dies first 75% of the time. Not fair, just the way life is. Amy, after Dave dies, that $2,000 benefit goes away. Amy can keep her benefit, or she can drop her benefit and jump up to her husband Dave's. What is she going to do here? Jump up to her husband's Dave. What happens if she doesn't notify Social Security? She keeps her $1,200 and she's out $800 a month. Happens quite often. You don't get a certified letter saying, "Hey, you're missing a benefit." Doesn't happen. Coordinating spousal benefits. This gets complicated. This is what restricted application. Read down there. It says must be born, kind of in the middle, must be born before January 2nd of 1954 to apply. Have to be at least full retirement age, which you would be if you're born, before January 2nd. So it's like 67 in 5 months, 6 months. Okay? But if you are, here's what you can do. This gets a little complicated, so stay with me on this one. Dave and Amy, for this, the person taking the restricted has to be at least full retirement age. In this case, it's not just full retirement. They have to be at least born before January 2nd of 1954. Well, let's say Amy also is full retirement. Let's say Dave's benefits $2,400 and Amy's benefits $1,000. Amy files for her benefit at age 66, so she starts her grand. Dave wants to wait to 70, so normally she can only get $1,000. But with the restricted application, which is phasing out day by day, month by month, year by year now. But what happens is Dave, in the eyes of Social Security, starts his benefit. Why? Because then you can take a spousal benefit. So he starts his and he stops his. When he stops his, he's able to get the 8% delayed retirement credits each year. 8%. So just think about it. On $2,400, you go on in, and he gets a guaranteed 8%. So he gets $192, and he gets inflation on top of that. So well over $200 it increases for the rest of his life. Well, when he does that, restricted, not just lets it grow, but restricts it, now Amy can take a spousal benefit. And with restricted, you're always a taker. So Dave is the one that restricts. He goes out and takes half of a spousal benefit. Half of 1,000 is 500. That $500 is absolutely free money. Up $6,000 a year. Everyone in the U.S. where restricted application could help them financially, only 0.7%. 0.7. Less than 1% of the people take advantage of it. And you know what most of the reason of that is? They just don't know it's available. Just helped a gal last week. It was great. Helped her restrict her application. Her husband actually was the one that restricted it. And she was just elated. We found $850 a month extra money, and then or about $800 a month, and then there was 4 months that we could retro take the benefit from. She should have done this 4 months ago when she took her benefit. So we got her check for $3,200 lump sum on the retro benefit. That's what you can do for folks, and it's so fun. I'm not kidding you. I wish I had it taped for coaching. She looks at me and she says, "Dave, I'm going to be bold." She had a whole bunch of statements. We asked them to bring in this came from a radio, from Retirement Boss Radio. She had a whole bunch of statements, just shy of $400,000 worth of retirement statements. She was a nurse for different hospitals. She said, "I'm going to be bold, but I want you to be my advisor." I said, "Well, I really appreciate that." I said, "We haven't gone through that much." She goes, "Well, if you know that much about Social Security, you must really be good when it comes with investments." I'll tell you what, when she said that, I thought, how great would that be just to air that to my coaching clients? Because that's what Social Security can do. If you don't know Social Security, we give you 3 different ways. 2 are paid for by the FMO. 1 is just a la carte. The $800 is out of your pocket. But I'll tell you right now, you can make a big, big difference in your production if you know Social Security. What Social Security can and cannot do, it can give you your highest benefit right now. The administrators cannot give you advice. Can't say, "Well, if I was you, let me give you a couple options." They can't do that. We can do that. In fact, in their program operational manual systems called POMS, what does it say? Number D, provide enough information so that claimants can make informed choices but do not give advice. Wild. When I got in this business 11 years ago, for the Social Security business, I'm in the business, the investment, fixed index annuity, insurance business since 1981. But I'll tell you right now, it's Social Security. A lot of reps just don't understand that it can make you money. That education just really strengthens your brand, and there's no doubt that it makes a lot of money for you. Income streams. So Social Security is not a standalone income stream. There's actually 5 pegs to the chair. Most flexible Social Security is of all income streams, claiming at your right time. And the survivor benefit, don't forget, they can jump up to, if the benefit is higher when the person dies, like my mom. My mom was 97. My dad died at 82. At 15 years, mom dropped her small benefit and went up to my dad's much larger benefit. Here's the 5 pillars of income. And I do this as a worksheet to uncover money. Wages, pensions, income-producing assets like 401ks, IRAs, rollovers. I mean, I work with the pre-retired or just retired people in financial transition. I work with those Medicare, MedSup, MedAdvantage, Part D, indemnity. I work with everything in that range. So I do work with lots of rollovers. RMDs, which is now 72 required minimum distributions on traditionals, and how Social Security can complement those other 4 income streams. When do you claim your Social Security? Just a lot of questions to ask, a lot of in-depth things to get, including all of their assets, all of their investments, all of their savings. How do you think I uncover so many assets? We work at partials of so many different types of assets, but there's just a lot to consider. Remember the 3 ways that you can learn Social Security? 2 are paid for: seminar marketing, Retirement Boss Radio marketing, or just a la carte for $800. But 3 different ways. 2 are paid for by the FMO IAMs, and then 1 you just pay out of your pocket. Okay? So as we're getting down here to the end, I guess one of the things you've got to ask yourself is, have you really thought about Social Security? There's an old saying that says, procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. It's the dangest thing, isn't it? Tomorrow never comes. If you heard something today, you said, you know what? I mean, I'm coaching a guy right now. He's 77 years old, still in the business, wants to learn about Social Security. Good for him. And he's giving a seminar. Sign up for the seminar. You know, he's down in the Southeast. The state's opened on up. He's giving a seminar. Good for him. If you don't know Social Security, ask you why. And hopefully it's not for being lazy. But if you think it cannot help your bottom line on your income statement, you're wrong. You're wrong. Myself and many, many, many others who are doing Social Security claiming, understanding it, they're making money from it. Let me help you make more money. Let me help you get educated. Here's a poll. It's a pretty simple poll. Would you like more information on Social Security coaching? It could be Social Security coaching, Social Security seminars, Social Security Retirement Boss Radio. The radio show is a really cool thing, you know, for paying $3,000-$4,000 and being on a recorded show that you do with a co-host, completely professional every week for an hour. I'm telling you, strong. You know, I mean, I'm averaging much more than 10 appointments a month. But if I get 2-3 appointments, I get 10 appointments a month, I'm pretty darn happy. I've gotten more than that, many more than that, for months and months and months. So it's paid for. But Social Security is a tool that is impressive to people, and you can really, really help people, and you uncover assets as you're doing it. So I'm going to hand this over to Steve Murray. See, we'll answer any questions. But if you mark yes, yeah, then Dave Corwin's going to go in and get a hold of you, and they'll get a hold of us. And actually does it right on the phone, and we put it into our calendars, and off we go. But Steve, I am loaded up with 15, 20-minute coaching appointments today from the last workshop, last webinar that we did. So hopefully we'll get a lot more today.
Well, judging by the initial response, 100% yes. I'm going to say
well,
that.
One person must have voted yes. So that's exciting.
No, it's been a great response. And, you know, obviously when you go through and, you know, talk about Social Security, people, I think it kind of lights them up a little bit on what maybe they don't know or what the opportunities are. But when you talk about the value of that and how you can grow and meet new people and help your current clientele and make yourself more referable with such an important retirement asset, I think people get kind of excited about that, and rightly so. You've told me numerous times, and I've mentioned on the webinar numerous times, that over the past 6 or 7 years, that's probably been the number one single subject that has been of interest to people that you have met for the first time. I think that as many people as you meet, I think that says a lot. I mean,
it does.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's the truth. Social Security has opened doors and avenues from a financial standpoint that I never had before. And I had some success certainly before, but nothing like now. You know, it's been really, really fun. Yep.
Well, it's nice to have that expertise, and you can help people gain that expertise, even for their own clients, when you start, you know, because so many times, you know, I think I missed the first couple of slides I was a little bit distracted, but did you put up the slide that talked about how many people are willing to change advisors simply for Social Security expertise? Is that part of this slide deck?
You know what? It's not. I did have one in there that said that the majority of people don't get Social Security information from their financial advisors. But Steve, wasn't it? Do you remember the number? The ballpark
like 78,
of that number?
Yeah, 78%.
Whatever it was, it just. I mean, it surprised me, but it shouldn't. I thought it might be 50, but 3/4 of people would change advisors who knew Social Security. It's a strong skill to have when it comes to, you know, retirement planning for, you know, for prospects, no doubt.
You bet. We do have a couple questions that have come up, and thank you all for being so attentive. This is a highly attentive group. Looks like they pretty participatory, which is great. If there are a couple questions, Dave, that are more specific to Social Security, very specific Social Security situations, and then some of them more general. And so let's hit the most general ones first. So Social Security claiming, you offered 3 ways that people can get expertise, and the 2 that there are like 3 or 4 questions about our seminars and radio. And so I know you talked a little bit about those along the way. So from a comparison standpoint, when you look at seminars and radio, and of course I know seminars have been a little tougher. We've been trying to do digital workshops, and it's a different animal for sure, but it feels like there's opportunity to get back into the seminar business. I talked to one of our common acquaintances today that did his first face-to-face seminar since early last year, and had some good success, had sat in front of a total of about 33 people over 2 days regarding Social Security. So I think people are ready to get back into seminars. So talk a little bit about seminar costs and your experience with seminars in terms of the prospect numbers and quality of prospects.
Sure. Well, states are opening up now. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you got 100,000 people have had a shot and from the coronavirus, and so are there some states still like Michigan or maybe even New York or California? Yeah, we got some troubles there, but you can certainly see everything is going down across the nations. I think I heard that there's 15 states actually that probably have herd immunity by now, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So there's going to be more, and less and less, or even when they get the coronavirus, you're seeing less deaths. I mean, it isn't as serious as it once was. Ventilators where everybody was on them. Now it's a much different matter. All of that bodes well for the seminar business, face to face. We're doing our first one in Nebraska. I'm doing it in the back of a church, doing it in a church community room. And our library also had a room that was open, but I thought we'll try the church, and that even sounds softer maybe than a library right now. So I thought let's try that. And as I said, we certainly have had reps that are down in Kansas and Texas and Florida, all have done workshops. I told them about our good friend up in the Northeast, Ed. Yeah. He did it a couple 3 weeks ago in a tent outside with heaters, and he could hold 60, and he had 60 people. I just talked to him, and he wrote several really good pieces of business from that. And he's a good sized producer, but he markets. He markets well, and you know what? Uses our seminar system. I mean, it's just our PowerPoint, which is a proprietary PowerPoint that actually I put together, and IAMS did all the, which is pretty dandy. I mean, it looks pretty darn good. They do all the creative, work on it with your crew there, with your 3 or 4 folks, and it can only be gotten from IAMS and through IAMS, because I market that solely through IAMS proprietary. So, $2,500. Our goal is to get at least minimum 25 people there. With 25 people, we figure you're going to have probably 18, 19 buying units, and hopefully half of those will come to the appointment or just a little more. So that's where we get that 10 number. But 10 of set appointments at the workshop itself, for 2,500, you're talking about $150 per appointment. Steve, do you have any appointment setting systems that you've got that you can buy appointments for $150 set appointments?
No.
No.
I wish I could say I did, but I don't.
It's probably $300 to $500, isn't it? Isn't it in that neighborhood? Probably.
Yeah, as low as $250, but yeah, you get what you pay for in that business, and I don't think there's a better bargain, better price than what you get to sit in front of it, because they're just the right people with the quality of prospect that you've gotten from your Social Security seminars has always been a little bit above average. So it's really good.
Well, think about it. People who don't care, they got to take Social Security early, they don't come. If they've already taken, they don't come.
Right.
It's only the people saying, how can I maximize? Most of those people have money. Because you know how you maximize? You have to have other income streams. Yep. That's right.
Yep.
Pensions, investable assets. You have some kind of a annuity product paying you an income. Yeah, alimony, child support, whatever it happens to be. But there is some kind of other monies coming on in. And then Retirement Boss Radio. Steve, I thought I would just bring it up before you did. You know what happens?
It was.
What happens there? It's just another marketing. And I tell you, being able to be on the radio for an hour each and every week, it's recorded. You record it from your own home, your own studio, meaning your studio is your home, your studio is your office. I just do it right on top of my room. There's a little bitty kind of a foam box that you buy. It's like $35, and it makes it sound like you're right in the studio. We have the software. It's a co-host. Yeah, we teach you up on Social Security with seminars. We teach you up. Part of the deal with Retirement Boss Radio, they run, on an average size, every couple, 300,000, 400,000 town. it'll probably run $3,000-4,000 all in. If it's a huge city like LA, New York, Chicago, no, it's going to be more, but you get so many more leads too. So many more people call in, and we have a call service that takes all those and sets the appointment off of an electronic calendar. So that also we coach you up on Social Security. And then if you just say, I don't want to market, but I want to learn Social Security, I finally want to learn Social Security. Yeah, get a coach. I mean, I'm good at what I do. I coach well. I charge $800 for 4 sessions, $200 each session. $800 a fixed index. Steve, what would it take? How much principal do you got to write to make
That's like
800?
12,000.
Yeah, 12,000.
Yeah,
12,000.
yeah.
And I will tell you something. But I don't have, and I'm not trying to be jaded. I've done this for a long, long time. But you know what? I just don't do a $12,000 fixed index. I don't. I mean, it has to be. This has to be a bigger amount. I said I'm not saying I wouldn't ever do it, but that's how small it is. It's almost kind of a small piece of business covers, and what it could help you in the long haul is pretty amazing, because I know that because it's helped me and many of the people that I've coached. So there's a lot of FMOs out there. There's a lot of good FMOs. There's a lot of people that do Social Security seminars. There's some mentors out there, but someone that'll take you under your wing, will coach you, teach you. You can call them whenever you want to. You can email them. I mean, within reason. That's myself, and that's the association that I have at IAMS, and we've had it now for going on 15, 16 years. It's been a good one, but we're trying to make you better, trying to make you educated and coach you up on Social Security so you can go in and make a difference to your clients, your prospects, and your production.
And it works. That's the good news. Dave touched on one point that I want to reiterate. Dave mentioned that you can call, and so you get the training, you get the assistance and learning, you get the kind of the guidance along the way. And whether you're doing seminars, if you decide to do seminars, then you get that A to Z training on how to make that work, which is key. I wouldn't do a seminar without it. Same with radio. Obviously, you all know, I guess you'd jump into radio without that one-on-one coaching. So you get all that. It's part of the deal with Dave. But from just the Social Security coaching side, it's nice to have somebody that you can go back to. I have never heard Dave stumped on a Social Security question. So that's nice to have that resource at your beck and call, so that when you're talking to a client, if you have a situation arise, you can get your answer quickly. That in itself, well worth the price of admission. So if any of that is of interest to you, I urge you to check yes and have that quick call with Dave. Dave will get in touch with you. He'll find out what a good time to have that 15-minute call. If you want to have a longer call with Dave, Dave is really good. Like, as I said at the outset, he loves to help salespeople. He's a salesperson. He loves to have an effect on people's lives that way. So he'll be glad to spend a little extra time with you. You will not have a call with Dave that doesn't get you a nugget or two that you can use for your business, whether you say, Social Security thing, maybe not for me, or whatever, but you'll get a nugget or two. I promise that. Something that'll be worth your 15 to 20 minutes of time. So Dave will be calling you shortly. If you check yes, if you check no, that's okay. Social Security is not of interest to you, or the assistance with radio or seminar is not of interest to you. We certainly understand that. A lot of people have as many prospects as they need right now. I applaud you for that. And maybe you've got enough expertise, you feel like you can get through that and help your clients. That's great too. So don't hesitate to put no if that's the case. If you need a little help or want a little help, or think there might be some things that we can do to help you, check yes, and let's get rolling. We're coming out of a difficult time, it feels like, and there's going to be some pent up desire on the part of the consumer to get help and information. And I want the people on the phone here with us today to have the leg up on their competition in that way. So whatever we can do to help, by all means, give us a call. We'd love to be of assistance. That's what we do here at IAMS. We know that if you're successful, we're successful. So that we start each morning with, how can we make the folks that we work with day in and day out more successful? How can we meet new people that want to grow their business? And if we find those people every day, we know that we're going to do just fine. And so it's good to be connected with a group. We're a wholly owned FMO right here in Omaha. Everybody that is an owner of this FMO sits in this office every day. And so we're not building something for somebody else. We're building something for ourselves, and that should make a difference to you, because we know that's what you're doing as well. So whatever we can do to help you, give us a call. Dave has been a great resource. Dave, you've answered most of the questions, and I see that there are 2 or 3 questions that they went ahead and they went ahead and made it a point with you so that you can answer their questions one-on-one. I appreciate that. Thank you all for a great Tuesday morning webinar. Dave, fantastic job. I appreciate what you do for our producer group.
Oh, you bet.
Fantastic job as always. And whatever we do to be of assistance, let us know. Give your sales director a call. Give me a call. We are here to help. And Dave, is there anything you want to say as we close up this morning?
Oh, hey, thank you very much for taking time off. We're going to end up right on time at the top of the hour, so that's wonderful. I'd love to talk to you a little bit about how Social Security or any other kind of marketing program could help your business. That's the name of the game, is give the best advice, educate your clients and your prospects up, and be able to make a good living from that. So hopefully we can talk soon. I can help you with your production going forward.
Thanks, Dave. Have a great morning, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.